What's up, guys? What's
What's
up?
up, guys?
What's up?
What's
What's
up,
up?
guys? What's up? What's up?
What did you think? What did you think? What did you think? Who's there? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think, Chris? What do you think, Big Warren? Huh? Ah, I don't know, man. Yeah. Thanks, Chris. Man, it's like Emmanuel. Oh my God, dude. Everybody, I want everybody to give you what's the emojis for the hand claps for Emmanuel, man. Amazing work. The voice is sexy as hell, way better than mine. Um, I love how you kind of I love your rendition of the poem, and you added a few things to it. Chris loved that I wasn't shirtless the whole time, although I was in bed half naked. Chris, um, yeah, first time seeing it, man. Manuel. I had my wife and daughter and son in here, and my son brought his whole weight training gang over, bunch of 13-year-old, 14-year-old boys, and they applauded it. They stood up and gave me a little standing ovation. Gave us a standing ovation. So yeah, I'm blown away, man. I'm blown away, dude. Yeah, it's I don't know, man. It's kind of like like when you watch game film after a game. Yeah, yeah, that surprised us. We said Amari Bluford. Would you have cinematography? Because he was bragging about, he's like, guys, I filmed part of this, and they were like, no, you didn't. Whatever, no, you didn't. So when you put that in there, he was like walking around with his chest out. Uh, so if we get any awards, man, we gotta make sure we add Amari um, to it. Listen, yeah. So it's like it's just like when you watch a game film. What's up, Sterl? When you watch, you mentioned my 1415 crew, Sterl, in the pregame talk. Um, it's like when you watch pre game film after a game, right? And the rule of thumb was it's never going to be as good as you think it is, or as bad, right? So I was on both ends. I was hoping it wouldn't be horrible. I wouldn't be too ugly and too stupid looking. So I'm glad I wasn't. I don't think I was. Um, but I'm always like reluctant to just be overly excited because it's always as the video is about, I'm still honoring the journey, right? So I don't have time to really pat myself on the back. I'll celebrate the people who did the real work, like Emmanuel and Tinashe. I mean, Emmanuel would tell him, Emmanuel, I didn't do anything. I did what I always do. Work out. Oh, really? I'll work out. Throw a fit. Throw a fit. I do that every day. What else I have to do? I don't know. I was just being me. So I give all the credit to the the writer and the director, the producer. They did all the work. And Stacy, my girl Stacy, who's on here now, she's an actress. So I have a newfound respect for how hard that stuff is. Yes, nice work, Tanashi and Emmanuel. Awesome work. Um, yeah, I can't say enough. Are there any? I mean, I'm literally speechless, which is hard for me. You guys know it's hard for me for me to be speechless. Um, so I'll just the throw was nice, huh, Jet? I can do it. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Um, it wasn't hard because I was just thinking back to my days as a CFO and how frustrating that used to get sometimes. I hold no ill will to any of my former employers or colleagues, but that was some stressful times, and I wasn't meant for that. I wasn't built for that. So part of what I'm trying to teach people is that it's hard to figure out what you're supposed to do in this world. It's hard. It's hard because we get caught up in what we need to do. Right? We get caught up in what we need to do and what I needed to do. And what I need to do is provide for my family and keep food, shelter, and clothing on the table and on our backs, over our heads. But what you need to do is different than what you're supposed to do. Right? And I'm supposed to be inspiring people. Right? I'm supposed to be motivating people. I'm supposed to be the embodiment of what my mama, I still call her that, my mama saw in me. And so we all have something we're supposed to do. And that doesn't mean you have to stop working or have to, sacrifice the things that your children and your wife or husband want. But whatever that is that your soul or spirit is telling you to do, you got to go do it. Right? You got to find a way to do it. And there's people on this messages who have known me for a long time. Chris has known me. Chris Sarlaki's known me for 5 years. Chris Sterling has known me for 25 years. Troy has known me since he called me his big brother, since he was under 10. He's a grown-ass man now. Right? And they can tell you, like, I've never stopped trying to uncover what I'm supposed to do. Even when that was hidden behind some serious scars, right? Some serious scars of stutter, scars of feeling ugly. To be honest, if I'm being honest, Emmanuel, when I saw the second trailer, I really almost backed out. I almost backed out of it. I almost tried to find a way to back out of it. It's like I tell a story about going up when I was a kid, going up the high dive at the pool, and it being one of those things that you had to do in order to be a teenager or a big kid. Like if you couldn't go off the high dive, you wasn't a teenager yet. And so I remember, going to the Army pool and going up the high dive, like thinking I was tough. I'm gonna go up the high dive. I'm gonna jump off the high dive. And I remember, every step it got scarier and scarier. And every step you wanted to kind of walk back down and stop. And then when you get to the top and begin to walk out to the edge, there really is no going back. And so much of my life, like yours, like your life, much of it has been with that, has been littered with a desire to go back, a desire to quit, a desire to give up. And so I literally, when I saw the first trailer, that's my comfort zone. Chris knows that. The first trailer was all about muscles and strength and yelling and shirt off. That's easy. I can do that all fucking day. Man, I didn't make it without an F-bomb. I tried. Right, but I can do that all day. I can be that part of me all day, but that ain't all of me, and in many ways that is my protective gear, my protective mechanism to hide from that part of me that has been scared and running from some stuff my whole life. Right? So, what's up, Kyle? So, when I saw the second trailer, and it showed me outside of my comfort zone, outside of working out, outside of doing curls and showing my abs, when it showed me in a car and it showed my imperfections on my face that I don't like, and it showed me talking a little bit, which I don't always like, I almost backed out. I almost found a way to say it's not worth doing. And I have felt sick since then. I had felt sick since Emmanuel sent me the second trailer. I posted it, I shared it, I commented about it, I invited you all to come see it, but I had this sickness in my stomach. Part of that's normal. Part of that has always been a part of me getting ready for something. Like tomorrow, I work out, I'm going to be nervous. Every Saturday before I work out that I take part in, I get nervous. That's part of who I am. I'll always be like that. But it was added level because I knew that people would see a part of me that I've done my best to hide for 35 years. 35 years hiding that. 35 years building up this brand of toughness and strength and perseverance, protecting that kid who stuttered, that kid who felt ugly, that kid who nobody liked, no girls liked, not one. That kid who was teased because he was the only black kid in his group of friends and had a messed up Jerry curl and was so different. And I started doing all these things that protected me from that kid. All these things, all these areas of life where none of that mattered. Football, that shit didn't matter. Right? Football, it doesn't matter if I'm black or white or studded or not. Can I cover you and hit you? Right? Can I run and can I catch? That was it. So that was the first thing. Then finance. Finance might be the easiest thing to do where you don't have to talk to anybody. Either the numbers add up or they don't. Either you got the formulas right or you didn't. Either the report is done or it's not. It's easy. So I began to create these ways to hide from the parts of me that I didn't want to show. Right? And many people on this thing have been around me for a long time, and they'll tell you I'm still that way. My boy Chris from college, there's 5 of us that go away every year and do a mancation. I'm still the odd man out in that group. I still use my physicality as a way to make me fit in that group. Ask them. I still bring weights and stuff to our mancations because that's my identity in that group. Right? And I got tired of running from that. It's tiring. It's tiring trying to be perfect. And I don't mean that in an arrogant way. I mean, we all try to do that. We all try to hide behind the stuff we're good at. It's the stuff that we think defines us. That's easy, but there's always a part of us. There's always a part of us that we want to show, that we know is a part of us that we need to show. And the more you hide that, the more you deny that, the more pain you go through. I'm telling you, the more pain you go through, the more pain, the longer I went, leaving that 12-year-old boy by himself, the more pain I felt. I stutter. I still stutter. I talk fast. I still talk fast. I'm emotional. I'm still emotional. I got a cracked tooth that I hate. I need to get fixed. I still have it. My face isn't perfect. It ain't never gonna be perfect. That's who I am. That's who I am. And whatever part of you that you've been running from and hiding is part of who you are. And you can't be complete. And you can't be full. And you can't possibly be the best version of you unless you allow the whole you to come forward. Can you succeed? Yes, I've proven that. Right? Football career in college, CFO, MBA, all these check marks that don't mean a damn thing. 6-pack abs, 10% body fat, gonna be 5 by 50, Chris. None of that shit matters. If I'm hiding a part of me that I know is important. I got you, Chris. I got you, Chris. Right? We have to do that. We have to honor all of us. I had to honor that 12-year-old boy who was kind of nerdy, who liked to draw and to write, and began to put all that stuff away because it was laughed at and ridiculed. And football wasn't, and muscle wasn't. So I began to have that be my dominant side. Right? But it was painful. And now, only now, am I allowed, I'm 48 years old, and I'm only now allowing myself to be Bobby. Not Coach Bobby, not B, not Blue, not whatever the moniker is that makes me a badass. Bobby. I'm being Bobby. Jackie Bluford's son, Bobby. The one who stuttered, the one who was skinny, the one who was and is imperfect. That's who I'm going to be. That's who I have to be. If I want to be who I'm supposed to be. Ooh, that rhymed. I like that one. I like that. I'm good. I'm good. But I got to be that. And you got to be that. What did Chris say before it goes too high? Okay, question for you then. You made the change 5 years ago. Now that you have established what you love and drive with your passion, what do you see in the next 5 years, goals, dreams? That's a great question, Chris. Great question. So oddly enough, guys, so I teach the 5 steps to greatness, right? And for those who have had my course, who have seen my workshops, you guys should know these damn steps by now, right? Step 1 is you have to want what you say you want. Step 2, you have to believe it. Step 3, develop habits around going, right? Just going. Don't wait for everything to be perfect. And then 4 is learn, and 5 is persist, right? I have not allowed myself, Chris, to want to be what I know I can be because I've had this barrier. So part of my problem is I've tried to do 2 things at one time. I've tried to build a career around passion, around who I am. And you and I, Chris, we fight all the time. Me and Maria, I got 2 HR departments. Maria, my wife, who I love dearly, and Chris, who I love dearly. And they keep me in check. They keep the demon inside of me in check. Right? But the truth of the reality is that the truth is I struggle between those 2 ends because I love hunting greatness. I love standing in front of the village and going up the hill to get food, metaphorically, for the village. Now, that ain't for everybody, right? Everybody in the village can't go hunt. I love being that. And I love teaching people to do that with me. But I'm afraid because I know that entails some things that make me uncomfortable, like talking. Like, you guys think it's easy for me. It's not. Ask Jenny. She went to my program with Bo Easton, and she might lie and say it's easy. It's not easy. I'm terrified of it. Right? And a part of me has still been trying to fit into this image and brand that I've been using my whole life to protect myself. Right? Because you can never question what I want out of life. You can never question my desire to be great. That's unquestionable. But once you stop doing that, it's about judging. Like, if I train hard to compete in a game and I'm out there every day doing sprints and lifting weights, you can never judge that. But when the game comes up, then you can judge whether I won or lost. So part of me has been avoiding the game. Part of me has been creating blocks so that I continue to work towards something that I never get to. So I have outgrown, in many ways, Chris, this stage of my life. Right? When I sit and dream about what I want to be, it's not running a gym or several gyms or having thousands of clients who just do what they want to do and stream that part's fine, stream my videos. But my dream has never been to have a conglomerate or have franchises. That's not my dream. My dream is to impact people at a high level. And you know this, Chris, that conflicts with where my business is currently at. Because not everybody wants that. And that's okay. The problem is when I'm in that moment, that version of me does not think that's okay because I'm not wired that way. I'm not built that way. Right? I don't see life that way. I don't see life as as let's just have a good time, eat what we want, do what we want, and then go die and not make it better for the next people who come. I don't see life that way. You know that. I'm here for a reason. And it's not to play around. Right? And so I get it. That conflicts with some of the people in my program. I get that. And so I can't go to the next level until I understand that I have learned what I need to learn at this level and be okay with that. But to do that, I have to believe I can do that. And part of me doesn't believe I can do that yet. I don't believe I can be at Oracle Arena right now yet. I can say it, I can want it. You can give me all the tools in the world. I have enough training to be at Oracle tomorrow. Speaking to thousands of people, I have enough training to do that now. Just like you have enough training, whoever, not you, Chris, but you have enough training and knowledge to lose 20 pounds now. So the 5 steps is about want and belief. I have a hard time believing that the stuttering kid can do that. So I'm fighting a battle trying to get to a spot I'm not ready for mentally. And in the meantime, I'm making people mad and pissing them off here because what I'm doing is created for that. So to answer your question is, I see myself using my inspiration and motivation in the right context, right? Because everybody who knows me, like really knows me, knows that who they see at boot camp is not who I am. I use that because I know we have to get to that level to get through the burpees, but that ain't who I am. Right? My boy Chris, my boy Sturl, he's on here. Like he's known me since 1991. We've gotten to fights. But he knows the guy who he plays basketball with, who throws a fucking elbow to his chin and it gets one back, that ain't who I am. But in the moment, I'm chasing greatness. And so the conflict is I got to be ready for that and get my mind ready, because there are people who want to see that, who can use that. We can all use it somewhere right now, but figuring out who they are, where they are, and then making myself ready to do that is where I see myself. But in the meantime, I don't want to destroy too many people on my way there. And you know, I've been known to do that. Right? Tomorrow, I'm probably going to piss somebody off in class. Right? So I don't see myself training people. That ain't what I do. Do I teach people how to work out? Yes, but I'm a coach. Right? I coach whatever is in front of us. Right? I'm just happen to be good at losing weight and building muscle. So I coach that well. But I can coach basketball. I can coach football. I can coach business. I can coach relationships. Right? I can coach mental growth. Right? So that's where I see myself. I see myself as a cross between The Rock and Eric Thomas. Right? And who else? And Sean T. Yeah, that's it. Sean T, The Rock, and Eric Thomas in 5 years. In 5 years. And Maria's going to have like 2 or 3 new cars that she deserves. Anybody else have a question? Hey, Gina. Yeah, I know, right, Bono? That drone stuff was legit, as Chris would say. That was, Emmanuel came out of nowhere. He's like, Coach Bobby, go over there. I'm gonna get this. He had like this damn remote. What the hell is that? And then all of a sudden, the freaking drone was following me. And by the way, I don't run. My kids are running. You were running? That ain't my warm up. My warm up is jump rope and boxing and stuff. I don't run. You're welcome, Jenny. I mean, it's what it is. I love to, I'm gonna try to speak to the real stuff. I mean, the short film was just a what do you call it? An appetizer to the real dinner, right? For us to get a real conversation going. Talk about some real stuff. that we deal with. You know, we all deal with it, all of us. All of us. And back to Chris's point, I'll say this, right? So honoring the hours, what's so critical about that is that you have to, like I played football. Like when I was 12 years old, my dream was to be an NFL football player. And I played in college. I went to UC Davis, for those who don't know. And I was still trying to play after college. Like my last year, I kind of realized I wasn't going to be an NFL cornerback. I was too slow for cornerback, too small for safety. I think I ran for Jacksonville when they came to see somebody else on our team. So I tested for them, and then I had a tryout the following year with the SaberCats, and I tore my hip flexor. So I tried, because you didn't try to play pro ball? Of course I tried. And then the other question they asked me is, do you have any regrets? And I have no regrets at all, because I realized that I wasn't meant to be an NFL football player, right? I wanted to be. I honored the journey to being a football player, but I did not uncover any stone. And the only guy from back in college here, I think, is Chris Sterling. He'll tell you, there's nothing I didn't try. Right. And then, so when that was over, I started a company, me and Sterl started a company, and it was around sports. And that was my first dip into the entrepreneurial pool. And we did our best, and we didn't make it. We didn't get funded. What's up, Denny? He's part of that. My boy D, just in time, D. And my boy D was part of that. And we started a company, 4 or 5, 20, early 20-year-olds, 25-year-olds. And I was the CEO, again, just trying to prove myself, trying to hide from that stuttering kid, trying to fit in. My boys back then, my boys now, I call them my pallbearers, Denny, Chris, Sean, Jordan. I'm still trying to prove myself to them. To this day, I'm 48. I'm still trying to prove to them I belong with them. And so I started a company because football was over. I enlisted them. I was terrified of speaking, asked them at that point. And I tried to raise money. We kept bouncing around trying to get funding. This is in the 90s when everybody was getting funding. And, I was hitting brick walls. So I went back to school initially to get my MBA for credibility, right? To add some oomph to our executive team. And so I went back to school for that, to Santa Clara, got my MBA. And so I didn't feel bad because I did the best I could. So I honored the hours in the journey as an entrepreneur. Then at Santa Clara, I did the same thing. I realized, wait a minute. These fools ain't smarter than me. I grew up, I went to public school. I grew up thinking I was not dumb, but thinking I was just like, I wasn't smart. Right? My counselor told my mom that I should consider a trade and not think about college. Good thing for me, I had football as my carrot. Right? But according to my counselor, I should just consider a trade school. Right? So now I'm at Santa Clara with all these former private school kids. And I'm like, wait a minute. I'm as smart as these fools. Are you kidding me? So I was like, you know what? Ain't no way these fools is doing better than me. No way. So I grinded them. Right? I honored my time at Santa Clara and kicked ass at Santa Clara. Right? I did that. Right? At the end of that journey, because I honored my time working, I'm working full time. Right? I was doing lower level accounting jobs. I was at a startup company that did custom app development. Right? Seaside. Right? And then one of the guys I worked with, Kevin Croy, I'll call him out, one of the guys, the most brilliant guys I know. I called him up. I said, I'm having a baby. My wife is pregnant. Our daughter was due. I said, I'm having a baby, man. I gotta figure something out, man. I'm trying to get this business to go. It ain't working. But because I had honored my time there, because I was trying to be the best, and he'll tell you, I had a to-do list. I was diligent. I honor my time at that position. He recommended to a friend of his who had started a company that I be his chief financial officer. Well, I'd be his accounting guy at the time because he was just like 5 people, right? But because I had honored the hours at that job, he recommended me to a guy who was starting a company. I go there, we clash a little bit, but I honor the journey there. Right? Ray Taft was my CEO, and we used to fight like freaking tooth and nail. We used to fight like crazy. I threw a damn phone at the wall, right? But he understood my value, and I respected him for that. But I honored that, and because I honored that, that company was acquired, and then I interviewed for CFO positions. Now, got another one, and I honored that. That got acquired. And then I began where I am now. I began this journey toward building a fitness business from nowhere. Literally took the shirt and tie off, haven't put it on since, and put on some compression tops in 2012, and haven't put on a suit and tie since. Right? And every day, I don't care what anybody says. They'll tell you I yell. They'll tell you I scream. They'll tell you I curse too much. They'll tell you I talk fast. They'll tell you I'm volatile, but they'll never tell you I don't fucking honor the hours. Nobody would tell you that. Nobody. So it's what I do. And when you do that, only then will the journey reveal to you what the next thing is. Like a movie. Like you have to honor where you're at in order to get unlocked the next thing in your life. So you don't always know what that is. You might think you want to be a lawyer, or you might think you want to be in sales. You might think you want to be an engineer or a football player. But maybe that's just a tool to get you ready. But you will never find out unless you honor where you're at. And the ability to honor where you are is critical. That's why I get so mad about people when they're working out and they're on their phone. It ain't because I give a shit about you having abs. I don't give a shit about your abs. I care, but I don't. If you don't care, I don't care. I care because I know it works, and I want you to go brag about me so others who do want it can come get some. But it's your abs. It ain't my abs. My abs are fine. But what I want you guys to understand is that wherever you're at, in order to get from that journey what you want from it, you have to give. I read a book. I'm reading a book called The War of Art. It's about whatever your territory is, and that means your gift, and whatever your gift is, right? Your gift doesn't give to you. Your gift gives back to you, right? The workout doesn't give shit to you. The workout gives back to you. The studying for the test doesn't give to you. The studying gives back to you. So when you're working out, or you're studying, or you spend time with your daughter, or your son, or your wife, or your husband, right? They're not giving to you. They're giving back to you. And that means when you're in the moment, you have to honor it. I tell my kids, I have a different relationship with the dirt. I don't need anybody around me. It's me and the dirt. Right? If I'm out there training or in my gym, I don't need anybody around me. It's me and the dirt. Right? And the goddess of your dream watches. The muse of your vision is watching. And if you ain't honoring, it ain't giving. It's simple as that. I can't lose weight. Start honoring it. I keep getting bad grades. Start honoring it. My free throw percentage is not going up. Start honoring it. My daughter and I keep fighting. My wife and I keep fighting. Start honoring it. It's simple as that. Honor the hours that you're with your dream or your vision or your goal. Honor it. Not for me, for you. Honor it. So that movie is, yes, it's fancy, and thank God Emmanuel is creative. But again, I didn't have to do shit I don't do every day. I get nervous because you guys don't see me every day. But I didn't have to do anything I don't do every day. And what's beautiful about it is Tinashe wrote it without my help, my input. How cool is that for somebody to know you and get you and understand you and be able to embody you without you telling them? If I was being honest, I bet you half the fools here could write that about me, could write a movie about me. Because I try, I know I fuck up, but I try to walk what I believe. And do I trip and fall sometimes? All the time. I love Chris like my big brother, Chris Arlacki and Chris Sterling, but Chris Arlacki like my big white brother. And he gets mad at me once a week because he knows I fuck up all the time. Right? But I tell you what, he can never tell you I don't walk what I talk about. He can never tell you that nobody can misunderstand how I feel about what I'm talking about. Right? Because I try to embody how I feel. I try to represent what I value. Not always, but I try. I try. Oh, I've been yapping. How long has it been? 40 minutes? I said it'd be quick. What's up, D? My boy D is a PhD. I got some boys I got some wolves in my pack, y'all. I got my boy D Quick. Great backstory. What backstory, man? Which one, D Quick? I forgot what I say. 3 F-bombs so far? I thought I had 4. I thought I had 4. 3's good, though. 4's even good. Sorry, guys. For those who don't know, I say the F-bomb too much. Just a word, though, right? Maybe 4. Maybe 4 Warren. What it is, 10 o'clock your time. Or 9 o'clock. 10 o'clock, almost. 9 o'clock. Yes. D Quick, great question. I'll be here as long as you want, guys. So my boy D Quick says, how do you honor the hours if you don't like what you are doing? That is a great question. I would argue that that's, in some ways, that's the easiest way to honor the hours, right? Because you figure out 2 things, D Quick. And I was there, right? I was there with finance, right? For a long time. Right. I like numbers. I like spreadsheets. I'm a nerd. You know, I was like doing all these like elaborate formulas. I have formulas that would like wrap in the cell, and it'd be like, take 20 minutes to open the damn spreadsheet. So I love finance. I love people, but I am not a people person, as many of you know, because I like to battle. And I like being with people when we're battling, and I like celebrating the journey with people, like-minded people. I like celebrating a kill, if you will. Like if Spartans go out, I like that part of it. But I don't like being around people just to be around people. And I say that lovingly because my boys are on here from college. They'll tell you I'm uncomfortable just sitting around doing nothing. I'm not comfortable doing that. It's weird to me. And we can go out and run and work out and then come do that, and I'll feel comfortable. But it just makes me uncomfortable. So I was in finance, and I don't like being around people who don't have anything to chase, right? Who aren't trying to be great, who are just about money and having a good time. So I was in that environment, D Quick, and I realized, fuck. I spent 5 years in Santa Clara. That's 5 F-bombs. So I can't just quit. I'm making good money. I got 2 babies now. We got a brand new house. I can't quit. But I was going crazy. And I began to write in a blog. Right, that's the first step to honoring. I knew I had more to give in terms of inspiration and motivation. I wasn't sure how. I still did not like talking very much. Had not done a video yet ever. So I began writing a blog, expressing my. If you go to BobbyBluford.com, not Coach Bobby Bluford. See, I stuttered. Not Coach Bobby Bluford, but BobbyBluford.com. That still goes to my old domain, my old blog. So I have blogs in there from 2009, I think, or even earlier. So I began writing. I began honoring the voices inside of me that knew I had more, right? And I began building the muscles to that, even while doing this. So there are ways to build the muscles you need for your vision without totally leaving where you're at. Right? So you're dedicating some time to whatever you want to be. If you want to be an engineer, but you're currently in sales, you begin to study, begin to be. And Maria would tell you, I didn't waste hardly any time, right, without doing something. And when you're not doing full time what you want to do, which is what many of us are doing, you have to fill in those times in times that you would rather be doing something else. Like people who want to get fit, but their job is crazy and they have kids, but yet they spend the other hours that are free watching Netflix. That's not how it works. So I had 2 kids. I had a 60-hour-a-week executive job. I was working out, which still is not something that I consider part of my journey. That's my job. Like my working out is not part of my vision. It's part of what I need to do to do things for my vision. So 60-hour-a-week job as a CFO, 2 kids, working out more than ever, more than now for sure. 2 hours a day. That's my wife. 2 hours a day, every day, right? And that's my boy Chris and them. They'll tell you, Sterling and Denny. But in between, I was writing. I was reading books on leadership and how the mind works. I was thinking. I was taking notes. And when you do that, you begin to get feedback from the universe, from God, that gives you more information. Again, I'm giving, so I'm getting. Right? I'm giving to my dream, so it trusts me more. It's a relationship, right? You got to give to it. So the fact that I was writing blogs and I was thinking and I was buying books and I was spending time outside of my workouts and my work and my family, I was spending time watching motivational talks, watching documentaries, right? My dream trusted me and began to give me more. I would accidentally hear a motivational speaker. I would accidentally get referred to Bo Eason. I would accidentally come across a book about something that was going to help me, accidentally. Right? So be quick. Devote some time to that dream that keeps calling you. Right? And then what you do is you utilize, so 2 parts. You utilize where you're at and you flip it. Say, you know what? I don't even like being here, but I'm going to use you. I'm going to use this position to work on the areas that I need to work on. Right? So for me, for example, like I realized that me doing boot camps may have been just for me to get thousands of hours of practice talking and storytelling and motivating and dealing with conflict that I couldn't have gotten anywhere else. Right? So if I wanted to be a speaker after a CFO, do you know how long it would have taken me to get ready for this? Right? So every day for 4 years, 6 a.m., 7 a.m., 8 a.m., 9 a.m., noon, I had to do something talking. Right? So you can find areas in your current environment, D Quick, and say, you know what, I'm going to use that to work on something. How I deal with people, how I communicate, how I teach. Maybe I can present something to the group. Maybe I can. So there's a piece where you're at that can help you grow. Right? And then you're continuing to carve out time outside of that. And you don't have to figure out how to leave or change yet. Again, I believe if you honor the hours that you have, it will begin to show you. I mean, we have made it this far by the luck of God and his guidance and me honoring the journey. That's it. That's it. Right? Maria has a good job. You know, I'm making decent money with my business now, but there have been times where it's been tough. Right? But I never not honored it. I never showed up and gave half-ass because I wasn't making the money I wanted to. Because I knew if I didn't earn the right to expect a better client or more speaking engagements, if I wanted to earn that right, I had to honor the moment now. So when there was one client at the MMA studio, when I had no clients, when Maria would call me and ask me did anybody show up, and I had to tell her nobody showed up, and then one person would come in and I would give that one person the best workout ever, I honored it. So when you do that, then the universe and God begins to show you more stuff and give you more avenues and more ideas. And you think the ideas came from you. They didn't come from you. They came from God and the universe because you honored it. And you think you break your damn shoulder tapping your back, but it came from somebody else, right? But you only get that if you honor it. You honor it. So I'm still like, right, I ain't got to be here right now. I'll be here until, you know me, I would stay here until 1 a.m. if one person was left. Right? I'm not getting paid for it, but I know that, number one, I'm practicing my ability to do this, right? To talk, to engage, to be confident, even though I feel ugly, whatever, I'm still doing it, right? And I'm honoring the process because I know that's a down payment for what's coming, right? The presentation at Oracle in front of 25,000 people, that's coming, but the down payment is due today. The down payment is due tomorrow. Right? It's advanced purchase required. You've seen the video. Advanced purchase required. I can't pay for it then. I got to pay for it now. Right? So D quick. Hope that helps, man. Again, so find ways outside of your days to figure out how to chase that dream, how to write down, how to do things. And then in your current environment, there are ways what you do, D quick, to get better at a lot of things. So let them pay for your training. On task. True story, Bobby was a motivational factor for taking a risk in my career 2 months ago. Been working like crazy, but loving it. Nice to do something you are passionate about. Thanks, Bobby. I got you, Chris. And he's a perfect example, right? Chris, and most of you guys, I'll say Chris because he made the comment. But it's amazing how we never see the beauty and the gifts we have that other people wish they had. Isn't that funny? Like, we don't see that. All we see is our flaws, right? And we'll see somebody else and we'll admire them for whatever it is, how good she looks, how smart he is, how funny he is. And if Chris only knew all the things about him, his character, and who he is as a person, and his ability to just walk into a room and engage with everybody and create an environment that people feel comfortable in, is something that I admire about him, right? But he will never even admit that he has that, probably, right? Or he'll just brush it off. The same way I brush off some of my talents. We all do that shit, right? But if we just sit there, that's why I tried to do a living eulogy a couple of years ago. It's like, find somebody on Facebook or whatever and do a living eulogy. I did one on my brother, because we all say that shit when they're gone. Oh, he was a great man. Say that shit now. All right, say that shit now. Do a living eulogy. But it's amazing because I watched Chris do well. It's the worst feeling sometimes, and you guys know this, to do something great that you hate. Right? To do a great job at something you don't want to do. And we a lot of us do that. We do a wonderful, amazing job at things we don't want to do. And then the better we get at it, the more handcuffed we we feel to it. Right? So me and Chris had conversations about that. And he could do my job. He could probably do this if he wanted to. Don't tell him. But it's just cool to finally see him, take what he's great at and what he loves to do and go to a company where he can be one of the main people at the company and be somebody who is helping to navigate where they're going and just walk like a peacock, like he is, and walk around and be the person he is. And what I try to do with people that I work with is I don't try to make them something. I try to remind them of something. Right? We come from greatness. All of us do. All of us do. And I never try to make people lose weight or make people be the top salesperson. I just try to remind people how fucking bad they are. Like, you a badass. I mean, a badass. And if somebody came into your house right now and tried to take your kid, they would know it. If someone came in and did something wrong to your husband or your wife, that person would know it pretty quickly. And so it's in you. And so I just try to help people remember it. Like, find that part of their DNA that's been, hidden and has cobwebs. And it's just cool to see Chris kind of just remember what a fucking badass he is. So I'm glad to have been a part of that transformation that he says it is. Yeah, anybody else? Yeah, my boy D said imposter syndrome. That's so true. We all have that at some levels. My boy D is a instructor at USF. He's a doctorate. We call him Dr. Marenko. And, he struggles with it. We all do. Like, I sit down sometimes when D talks to us, I sit there mesmerized. I'm like this, because he just sounds so eloquent. I'm like, I wish I could talk like that. I wish I could be as engaging as he is, right? He doesn't think that properly. None of us do. But we all feel like imposters. Part of me, being fearful of this thing was like, who am I to deserve a short film? Like, who am I? Who am I to be somebody who invites people to watch his short film? Who am I to want to be somebody who is recognized by The Rock or somebody who is recognized as one of the influencers? Who am I? Who am I not to? Like, who are you not to be who you're supposed to be? Ain't your job to show up here and be average. Ain't your job to be here. What I tell you earlier, Stacy, we were talking, it was good. I remember what I said. It was good, though. But it's not our job to be average. Right? It's God had an assignment for us. God put us here to be something. It's our job to do that. Not to sully ourselves and be less than because somebody else makes them more comfortable. No, it's not. And so we have to be okay with that. It's hard because the whole world is average. The whole world is okay being average, right? But we have to be okay with not being average, with being the best version of us, and I try to do that. All right, guys, it's getting late. I could be here forever. I literally could. I want to thank you guys, all of you who watched it, who came late. I think it's posted now, so you can watch it still. But yeah, I'm blessed. I feel extremely blessed that people felt it was worthy of their time to show up and watch the 7 minutes video and then to engage with me afterwards. So some of y'all I'll see tomorrow. Some of you guys I won't. Those who I won't, have a great weekend. If I don't talk to you guys before Christmas, Merry Christmas. I love you all, and I will talk to you all and see you all soon. All right? Bye, you guys. I love you. Bye-bye.